Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you again for not watching another one of my videos. Sorry I hadn't made one in a while. I've been extremely busy. Softball with the girls, baseball with the grandkids, soccer with one of my girls, then of course cheer, and we'll be going to Orlando, Florida this weekend for nationals cheer competition in Orlando. So it's gonna be busy. And then I'll get back, I think Tuesday, and then back to softball and baseball and soccer, and then cheer practice, and getting ready for cheer tryouts for next season. So anyway, it's gonna be busy. Alright, what I'm gonna talk about today is two baits that is working extremely well right now this time of year, especially in my area. Two baits that I will use right now, especially for finicky bass that's not feeding well. You know, you're having a hard time getting a bite. These will be two baits that you can use and get a lot of bites and some big bites. First I'm going to talk about is the shaky head worm. A shaky head is one of my favorite go-to baits. This is a Zoom swamp crawler. Swamp crawler is my favorite. They call it something else now, I believe, but I bought a ton of these swamp crawlers whenever they had them for sale, but I believe they changed the name. Oh, stupid school bus. Anyway, I believe they changed the name to something else, and I think they're made just a little bit different. But if you have some of these old Zoom swamp crawlers, they will get you some bites. And if you don't want them, let me know, and I'll buy them from you, because I catch a lot of fish on them. But shaky head worm, you can use a trick worm, which is what a lot of people uses. Z-Man makes a great shaky head worm. Fatties or something like that's what they call it. It floats very well. The tail sticks almost straight up. It works extremely well. The swamp crawler works extremely well. And like I said, just the trick worm works really well. X-Zone makes some good ones. But the two brands that I use is either Z-Man or the Zoom, and I catch a ton of fish. You can fish them anywhere. You can fish them in brush, you can fish them around rocks, you can fish them on points, you can fish them around boat docks, you can fish them anywhere. I usually use an extremely light head. I use a head that I pour myself here at True Faith Custom Baits. I usually use either a 1/16 or an 1/8 or a 3/16 ounce head, something really small. If there's not much wind and I'm not fishing very deep, I'll use that 1/16 of an ounce head, and I catch a lot of fish on that size head. And an 1/8 ounce is another one. If there's a little bit of breeze and I'm fishing, or I'm fishing a little deeper, or I'll get the 3/16 out and use it. This just depends on how much wind. If there's a crap ton of wind, I may have to go up to a 1/4 ounce, but unless I absolutely have to, I use that real small head. It gives it more of a natural action. But that shaky head is one of my go-to baits, especially if I am having problems getting bites, or I just need a fish or two real quick to finish out a limit. I use them on 7'3" spinning rod usually with 6 or 8 pound test fluorocarbon, or monofilament. Make long casts on points and just right outside of bedding areas, or it works good in throwing up into the bedding areas if you still have fish on beds. But it's a great bait this time of year to get extra bites, or if you're having issues getting bites. The second bait I want to talk about is a tube. This time of year, a tube works great for me. I can use a flipping tube, and I can Texas rig it, and I can go flip the heaviest brush there is with that tube. A lot of people doesn't flip a tube, so the fish isn't really accustomed to seeing that tube flipped in there. You can Carolina rig a tube. Texas rig it for Carolina rigging. You can put like a little piece of foam earplug or packing peanut or any of that. You can put a little piece of that up into the head of your tube, and that'll make it float. That'll float it. That'll keep it floating up. You can use it just traditionally, slide the tube head up inside of it and work it in those same places that you would a shaky head. There's so many ways and places to fish a tube and a shaky head that'll get you more bites, and it'll get you, if you're short a fish or two in a tournament, that'll get you usually you can get your limit filled out fishing one of those. I use the same setup for a tube as I do the shaky head, and when you go to set the hook on a shaky head or a tube, I'm usually using light line, so I don't usually set the hook hard. The main thing I do is kind of keep just a little bit of pressure, not a lot, just kind of the same pressure that you'd have trying to shake that shaky head, and just kind of pull back into it and start reeling. I'm using 6 or 8 pound test line, so I don't want to set the hook hard and break my line. And if it's a big fish, or if it's trying to swim away from you, it's a whole lot of chances of getting your line broke. I use Sunline Sniper, so I use really good line, but or I will use monofilament line. I usually use Trilene. I like Trilene. You can use Strand. You can use whatever brand you prefer. But I've always used Trilene, and I've had good luck with Trilene. Most time I'm using Trilene Big Game, the green Big Game. Some people likes the clear, but seems like that green is a little tougher to me. It may just be me, but I like the Trilene Big Game. But anyway, those two baits, can't go wrong with those. They'll get you some extra bites. And the kids is about to load up here in just a minute, so I'm gonna get off of here. You all have a blessed week. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the water.